Hey guys, I'm HB, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is blues guitar improvisation concept form. What are we talking about? Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a pre-member account or a premium member account if you want to download all the material which comes along with the tutorials and also to support the work which me and Dr. Pink are doing for you. So, what are we talking about today? I show you is pretty tough one, but it's needed. It's about yeah, that's how about it will sound, but the real topic is we have here a blues form. It's not a standard blues form, it's a little bit different, and if you want to, become really creative in blues improvisation, you need to master the form. The form is a big part of music. I mean, many players among you are just playing pentatonics over blues, and it's pretty fun because pentatonic always works. But the real cool thing is when you really can, when you know where inside the form you are, and then you can start to really adapt to the chords which are currently just played, and also adapt with several figures and variations and modifications, and you become a way better player. And this is basically a thing which goes inside of you, your musical, how you see music, how you experience music, expressing on guitar. A lot of players think it's important to play fast. No, that's really wrong. It's important to know what you're doing, when you have to do what, and that's what we're talking about today. So in this tutorial, first I show you the form. I created a backing track, only drum and bass, so you really need to know where you are. You need to count. You need to have the whole form when you play. It's always with you. Even if you're playing something else, the form goes through your mind. You just follow the form which you hear inside, and then you start to adapt and start to improvise. Yeah, you will see. We're gonna start. I show you the main form, and then how you start to make variations on it, and how you can practice to count, to feel, and to play, and to become creative in this whole process. So let's get started. As I mentioned, first we learn the main topic or the main theme of this blues, and this one I'm going to show you. It's really simple. It's a blues in E, but it's not a standard blues form. Instead of 4 bars of E, we have 8 bars of E, and we have a little pattern which is played and goes like this. So 1, you can do either 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay? So you can do the E, 1, and then E7, 7, 6, 7. This is an E7, 1 and 2, go slide half step down, 1 and 2, and then 3, and you slide up back, 3, and on the end you slide back up. So that's the figure which is repeated all the time. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Maybe the second time you play it, you make a little variation. You just spare the first and you just come in. So like it will be like this: 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you just spare the first beat and make a pause there. So this is played, if you count it from the 2-bar, the 2-bar figure, it's played 4 times, so it's going to be 8 bars of E7, okay? Plus 2 times more. Then it goes to A7, and we're choosing this A7 here 5th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret, damped A string. Same figure. 3 the same, 2 bars, and then it goes back to E, 2 bars. So the 2 bars figure really fits in nicely. Then comes the final thing, which is more or less the standard thing. We have 1 bar B7. So, and here, since we don't really have time, well, you can do them. But you can also skip the ones. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on the 4 end, you can also make the slide down. 1 and 2, 3, and 4. Or you can also skip this if you want. It's not really the topic today. And A7. Same thing again. 1 bar E7. And 1 bar B, but in this case we have another figure. This comes 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's the final thing. So 8 bars E, 2 bars A, 2 bar E, 1 bar B, 1 bar A, 1 bar E, 1 bar B7 with that syncopization on 2 ends. So let's play the figure now. Okay, so that was a figure now. The bass in the backing track helps you to figure out where the 2 end is. But you can also do just with metronome. Okay, so that's the main figure. And this backing track, as I already said, is only drum and bass because you don't get any help from the band. A lot of players just go along with the band, and if they miss something, the band will help them out. But in this case, you don't get any help. You have to do the whole task your own, and that's part of the concept and part of the really valuable exercise I'm showing you here. So this is the main thing now. Now we try to improvise on this thing and be creative. So as I said, the form which I just showed to you goes through your mind all the time. Even if you're not playing, you always hear it, okay? You hear it inside. It always da da da. So this is the beat. Da 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 do do. You always hear the whole thing, okay? Now you can start to be creative. We do I mean, the lesson will be finished. We'll say, okay, you just improvise something with pentatonics, and then you just put in the chords where you feel like you want to put in chords. So that we call play rest. Okay, you play something, improvise. When you rest, you play chords, which would be something like this. And so on. So whatever you play, you always know which is the current chord. And this is a problem for most of the students I've ever seen in my teaching career. And so I created an exercise for you where you can learn this systematically, and gives you just to get, first you practice some structure, and then when you feel confident with it, then you can start to break out of the main concept. I mean, it's just an exercise here, but it's really, it helps you at the beginning if you have difficulties in hearing and counting and doing all this stuff at the same time. So the first exercise I will call play rest. So 1 bar play, 1 bar rest. So means when you play anything on a pentatonics, 1 bar, the next bar you play the figure which is, or when it goes to A, then it's A, okay? So that will be the first thing. And you can say, okay, just be creative. You do 1 bar play, then rest, do the figure. And also that is for most students too difficult at the beginning. So the easiest way is you have just 1 figure which fits to E, or 2 figures because you have so many bars of E, 2 figures which fit to E, 1 figure which fits to A, and 1 figure which fits to B. So figure 1 for E would be this one here. So we have E minor pentatonics. We make the bending in the 10th fret, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, and then comes the rest figure. Then we have 2 bars, okay? So we have this figure, and then it comes again play. Since we have 8 bars E, we make another one to have some variation, like this one here would be nice. Bending here, again 10th, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, again. Okay, so the first 8 bars are now fixed like this. I'll show you. I missed it. See, it also happens to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes to A. Then we make another figure, something like this maybe. Here. Same figure as before, but now we're playing here. 8 and 9. Then it goes to A7. Back to E. Then we choose again the figure from before. Okay. And then we have a figure for B7. I would suggest this one here. So 1 and 2 just slide here in the 9th, here on the 7th. So 1 bar, B7, then comes A figure again. E. And finish with the B. So this is really, it's not so creative, but building up a structure with something you just practice helps you to keep track where exactly in the song you are. I mean, if you can do it without the exercises, then you can skip this. But from my experience, most students can't do this at the beginning. So this structure really helps you to get into a feeling of the form and feel the song and know exactly when what is to do. And that what makes a blues thing really great. It's not the, I mean, the fast playing is of course cool, but it's not at the end of the road. I mean, well, it's the end of the road, but the most parts are what I'm talking about now. So the whole thing will be now, as I said, we have play rest, 1 bar playing, 1 bar rest. You could also do 2 bars play, 1 bar rest, if you want to make it asymmetric. I just chose 1 bar play, 1 bar rest as an example, but you can also do 3 bars play, 1 bar rest, of course, or the opposite, you turn it around, rest, play. So in this case, let me first show you how the play rest sounds, and then we turn it around to rest, play. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, I fell out now. I was too much stuck on my thing. That's good that it also happens to me. As I'm saying, this thing is not so easy as it looks like. You really need to concentrate. You know, exactly know what I'm doing. Okay, I had made a mistake on the B7. I thought this chord, but it was play and not rest. But even if you will never do that way, like so systematic, when you play freely, make the exercise really systematic, okay? Because this will help you to always feel the form and you know exactly where you are. I'm gonna play the whole thing now. I first play rest and then rest play. So rest play will be the opposite. So the first bar is, and then bar 2 is the figure, okay? So I'm going to play both in one row now. But you also, if this stuff is too easy for you, then you can make it more complicated, as I said, with asymmetric things like 2 play, 1 rest, or 3 play, 1 rest, or 4 play, 1 rest, or 3 play, 2 rest. You can do whatever you want, but if you cannot do 1 play, 1 rest, 1 rest, 1 play, you cannot do the other one. So I'm going to do now play rest, rest play. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This time I made it without mistakes. But honestly, I also needed really to concentrate to not drop out of the system. As I said, if you're able to do this really precise, then you're ready to start becoming creative. You can start to become creative in just making other kind of play stuff. You know, I was playing all the things, all the same little licks, but you can also make, of course, when it becomes creative, you don't do this so systematic anymore. But this, as I said, this is a concept, and this is the exercise for the concept to learn blues form and to learn to be creative with the form. Yo guys, as I said, if you've never done this before, it's really it's quite a challenge, but it helps you a lot to learn blues and blues form, you know, to feel it. And I mean, at the beginning, you really need to count. Otherwise, you will drop out, of course. This making things really simple helps you to fulfill the task, to not drop out of the form. You know, making things simple, because there was so many things going on, and you know your system can easily get overwhelmed because you think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, then this and this, then you drop out of form. So first thing, you shall never drop out of the form. That's more important than to play crazy stuff, you know? And also not drop out of the rhythm. This is really important. So this is first before it becomes creative. Once you can do the form, you know, like this, that's really easy, then you can start to be creative. But you need a system which helps them. From, as I said, from my teaching experience, most students have difficulties with this. If you don't have, you're one of the lucky ones. And if you have difficulties, I have these exercises here written down. Plus the backing track is available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Please join there and download the exercise and the backing track, or just to support the work which me and Dr. Pink are doing for you guys, and just learn this stuff. I know it's a challenge, but it really helps. And form is, in blues, one of the most underestimated topics. But if you really want to play cool blues, even if you always play standard blues form, this movement of the whole figure, which always goes along while you play, that's the key to really play with the song and not just playing or noodling around on the pentatonic, even if you can, you know. That's the nice thing with pentatonics, you cannot really go wrong. But if you really go along with the song, then the figure and the form always has to be in your mind, in your musical expression. Good, that's all me and Dr. Pink are having to say. See you guys.